Thank you. Welcome everyone to our event, and hello world, this is live. This is being broadcast live on YouTube through the whole world. So welcome everybody to Carmine's. We are here to celebrate Ray Mancini being inducted into the Nevvada Hall of Fame tonight. But we're also here to celebrate being Italian Americans. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. I'm with the Italian American Club in Las Vegas, and I'm the publisher of the Italian American magazine, Ciao, Tutti. So in addition to our local friends here, I want to give special thanks to Rich Murata, who's the president of the Nevvada Boston Hall of Fame. And to let you know, this was Rich's idea. So a couple months ago, Rich called and said, we're inducting Ray Mancini into the Hall of Fame. What do you think about the Italian American Club honoring him, making him an honorary member? So I went back to the board, and it took about 6.8 seconds for them to say done. And then I reached out to some of the other clubs. So over here is Jay Fuller, who's the president of the Arizona And we have Ann Potenza here. Ann is the president of the Federated Italian, which is the amalgamation of California. So all the clubs, Ann is the president of that. And then we had the Sons of Italy, and the Western region wanted to get involved and insisted to be involved, and so Tony Richibuto and then last but not least, the oldest club, probably west of the Mississippi, right? The San Francisco Italian Athletic Club. Leo Perini is here. And the San Francisco Italian Athletic Club is a 100-year-old club. They have shy of 1,000 members, and it is a competitive athletic club. It is not a social club like our clubs, the Italian American Club here, Arizona, not so much Sons of Italy, but we're social clubs. We have Italians that like to have a good time together, and we support the community and things. But they also are very highly competitive sports. So we're very lucky that San Francisco is involved. So Ray, I can tell you that the West Coast of the United States is represented here to honor you. I'd also like to acknowledge some people who couldn't make it here today. So first of all is the president of our club, Angelo Casaro. He's in Buffalo. He couldn't make it, but he wanted me to make sure, and he wanted you to know, Ray, that he's been to every one of your fights out here. And his pal, Gary Cavaretta, I think has been to all of those fights too, right? So Angelo couldn't make it. The Jesuit priest from the state of Nevada couldn't make it. He's a big fan. He happens to be in Canada right now. A major Italian wine importer, the 800-pound gorilla of Italian wine importing, Gaetano D'Aquino, is not able to make it, but he has some wine for you, Ray. Presidents of the club. Another important person to our club is Frank Bonanno. Frank owns 50 restaurants in Las Vegas, mainly in the food courts and some very high-end Italian restaurants. And he's in Florida right now with his family, but he sends his congratulations and wishes he was here. Dr. Ralph Carullo couldn't make it, and Count Guido Dero, who is a count living in, an Italian count living here in Las Vegas. He's a little bit of bad health, but he couldn't make it. So those are the people who could make it. Now I also want to acknowledge Carmine's restaurant. And I would say that Carmine will be in Las Vegas. And thank you again, Anthony, for this. Now, and so I think that everybody agreed the meal was great? And so we're waiting for dessert. And that kind of reminds me of last night. I went out to dinner because, you know, this is the boxing thing, so I wanted to get a nice, juicy steak. And so I'm at the restaurant. It wasn't here. And the waiter came over, brought my steak. And I said, "Hey, why is your thumb on my steak?" And he said, "So it doesn't fall on the floor again." Pete Barbuti requested I say that joke. Okay, so there's a great American author named David Foster Wallace, and about 11 years ago, he gave a commencement address. There's two fish, and in the opposite direction comes an older fish. And as the older fish passes the young fish, he says, "Hey boys, how's the water?" And keeps swimming. A little while longer, one of the young fish looks at the other one and says, "What the hell's water?" And the point of that story is that sometimes things are so obvious that we just don't know it. And that's one of the things I want to focus on just a little bit tonight. So I'm the publisher of Ciao, Tutti, the national Italian-American magazine. And I do a lot of interviews with people, a lot of interviews with Italian Americans. And I always ask a question, which is, why are Italian Americans and Italians, why do they have a disproportionate amount of things that we just seem to do better than other people? Better food, better restaurants, design, cars, entertainers, singers, better sex. Why is it, and I would ask everybody, why do you think this is? And I basically always get the same answer, which is what? Okay. And so I think the answer can be summed up by something Ralph Waldo Emerson said, which was braver than, or just brave 5 minutes longer than the ordinary guy. And I think that's the thing about Italian Americans. We don't do things better. We just do it 5 minutes longer, or 5 days longer, or 5 months longer, or 5 years longer. We do it until we do it better. And that is what passion is all about, right? Passion is about you just keep doing something until you're the best person at doing it. You do it as best you can. And passion that we don't realize that we have that separates us from everyone else. That's our thing. And what we need to do is we need to nurture it for the next generation of Italian Americans. The clubs, you know, one of our issues is all of our members grew up either with a parent that was from Italy or a grandparent that was from Italy. We have a direct connection with people from Italy. But our children don't have a direct connection. And so what we need to do is to instill and nurture passion in our youth for the next generation so that our culture continues. So today, again, we're honoring Ray Mancini because Ray is a guy who did it. He didn't give up. He was 5 minutes longer, 3 minutes longer than everyone else, and he just stuck with it. And Ray is a hero to our Italian American community, which is why it was so easy to get all of the clubs on the West Coast to come out and pay tribute to Ray. What's going to happen next? So we're going to give Ray, each club is going to come up and give you their recognition, their tribute for the great effort that you've done for our community. And then Rich is going to come up and introduce you, Ray, and then we'd like you to talk about your life. So On behalf of our club, so many of these down here. So Ray, if you could come up here for a second. So the Italian American Club in Las Vegas is 57 years old. No. How many years old is it, Joe? How many? Where's Joe? Because he knew last night. Okay, 60 years old. Our club is 60 years old. When I came to Las Vegas 4 years ago from San Diego, I came for the weather, just in case anybody's curious. We had 120 members in our club. Within a year, we were down to 80. Then we made some changes. We have almost 800 members in our club. So this is the club in Las Vegas that all of the people who are proud to be Italian Americans are members of. And so we have decided to honor you by making you a lifetime honorary member of the Italian American Club here. Thank you. So whenever you come to the club, the way up is the way up. Maybe you should just stand up here for a second.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. Ann Potenza, why don't you come up? So again, Ann Potenza is president of the Federated Italian, is it Italian?
Italo-Americans, yes.
American organization in Southern California.
Thank you. First, I have to give a hug.
Yeah, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you again.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Potenza, from the president of the Federated Italo-Americans. Sorry, you have to hang out here with me, Ray. When Edward invited me here today, and it was almost as if full circle, my life and being Italian American and being here was just coming around. And when he said that the Nevvada Boxing Hall of Fame, I am absolutely coming here. So I live in Los Angeles. For those that may not know, what Federated is we are an umbrella organization of Italian American organizations in Southern California. So we're not our own club. What we are is we keep the clubs connected, because everyone has their own individual specific specialty, because there's a lot to do when you're Italian American, so we have a lot of things to do. So I've been fortunate as the president to have gotten to know all the different parts, all the different clubs, and it's something that as an umbrella we try to stay connected, try to help support each other in their niche. And I actually grew up here in Las Vegas, so it was perfect. My mom was like, yeah, come back here for a good person. And it's interesting, I born in New York, raised in Las Vegas. I grew up here from 75 until I graduated from UNLV, and then I moved to Los Angeles. So this is my home, and it's funny, I actually worked here in Caesar's Palace going through college at UNLV. My father got me a job, Frank Potenza. He was a security guard here for 20 years. I used to work at the gift store, and we would work the fights. I'm laughing that you're here, we're honoring you, and I used to watch the boxing matches in the late 80s, that were going on here. So to be here and to get to come back home and recognize such an incredible brother and friend of our community, paisan, a cousin, I'm taking you to my family. I mean, you are already. I was like, of course I'm going to be there. So I just want to let you know, while I was in Las Vegas, that's when I had the fortune to Frankie Compatelli.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Frankie and we actually organized the Feast of San Gennaro in Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas, sorry. I'm getting a little carried away. In Los Angeles, and that's how I met Ray for the first time. Through him, I know you've taken your family to the feast, and he's been a part of it. So I saw him when he wasn't being honored, when he was just being a regular Italian American, being part of the community. I also had the fortune to be at the Sons of Italy Hollywood Lodge Club meeting when you came and you spoke to your brothers and sisters in the lodge and shared his story. And he came just on his own to share his story with us and brought his children. And that's why I'm like, I have to come here, because tonight you're being honored for something amazing, your career. I know your family and your heritage is important to you as well, because It all makes you a total package, which is amazing. The Southern California and anyone in my own heritage and everything, we want to recognize that you, Mr. Mancini, when you are not being honored, you are still in your heart, it lives and it breathes, and you are a part of our clubs, you're a part of our organizations, you're part of our soul and our passion, and I would love to, on behalf of the Italian Americans that I am a part of, to bestow on you a little token of our appreciation, and it's a pin that represents the Federated Italo-Americans, and we don't give them out a lot, but we do give them to people who represent what it means to be a part of our community. And I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of everyone, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you very much, and from Carmine between now, this is a gift for you. Okay, Tony Richibuto is here to represent the Sons of Italy, Western Region.
Wait a minute, where'd you go?
Good to see you.
Yes, my name is Tony Richibuto. I'm the president of the Los Angeles Sons of Italy. I'm sorry, Las Vegas. I got nervous. Gonna get somebody big to me, I sort of get nervous. No, that was you I was talking about.
Okay, so move over just a little bit so you're on camera.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Anyhow, I am also a board member for the Italian American Club and appreciate what Ed and Angelo and the rest of the board members and our members have done here in Las Vegas. It's really a great club. But anyhow, we have a small portion of our little Sons of Italy here that's associated quite a bit with the Italian American Club. And we work together as a community, and that's the biggest thing. Recognizing our own people, our own culture. And we're trying to really advance it as much as we can. The Sons of Italy, as you know, is probably the oldest organization of Italian Americans in the United States. And the Grand Lodge of California asked me to present a little plaque over to you that they had made up. And I was very privileged to do it. Our president couldn't make it today. She's traveling around, but she did. Gratitude and just what you have done. So we have this plaque for you, Ray, and I just want to say what it says. Congratulations, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, on being inducted into the Nevvada State Boxing Hall of Fame. Your outstanding achievement as a boxer and your devotion to the Italian heritage makes all Italian Americans proud of you. We thank you for showing the rest of the world the diversity and richness of our Italian American culture. And that's what it's really about. Ray was a great boxer, but he never left his Italian community. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Tony, this is from Gaetano Duquino to you. Okay, next is Jay Fuller. Jay is the president of the Arizona American Italian Club.
Well, when Ed told me about this, he told me to put together a 45-minute speech, right? Is that right? Or I might have misread. Maybe it was 5 minutes.
4 or 5.
Oh, 4 or 5. Oh, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. First off, I just want to let everybody know what kind of Italian name is Fuller. I get that all the time. In fact, a number of years ago, I was sitting in a restaurant. Older Italian gentleman sitting next to me looked at me, asked me my name. He said, "What kind of friggin' Italian name is that?" I looked at him. I said, "It's none of your business. Who the hell are you?" He says, "I'm Sal Bonanno. Nice to meet you." My tone changed dramatically. I was very polite, explained to him that my mother was Italian. Her last name's Camazzi. My grandfather, Giuseppe, immigrated in 1914 through Ellis Island and settled in the Bay Area. So that's how I came about having a last name of Fuller. So real quickly, just want to thank everyone. I want to thank Rich for inviting us. I want to thank Ed. Ed, your club last night, we had dinner at the club last night. It was spectacular. We have an entourage from Arizona here. There's about 10 of us that came out for this celebration. I want to pay my respects real quickly to the other organizations represented here. Thank you for being part of this, and I'm truly honored, and we are honored to be part of it as well. I'm cutting my 45-minute speech down to about 3, okay? But most importantly, I want to congratulate this man right here. A champion boxer, I've read up on you, an actor, right? A producer, an entrepreneur, and a man who has been called, and I quote, a decent, caring man.
Thank you. That's more important.
Mr. Mancini here, on this momentous occasion, your induction into the Nevvada Boxing Hall of Fame, we are honored to be here. I want to draw some quick similarities between yourself and the Arizona American Italian Club, because I told I could plug our club too.
Yeah, why not?
All right? The AAIC was created in 1957 by some very hard-working Italian people. And so was Ray 4 years later by a couple of hard-working Italians. The AAIC has survived good times, bad times, and is still vibrant today. He has too. Survived good times, bad times. I'm not quite sure about the vibrant thing yet, though. All right. I'm trying here. All right. I'm dying. Okay.
Get the hook.
Yeah. He's had a formidable career. 34 fights, 29 wins, 23 knockouts. He's got our club beat on this. As far as I know, there's only been 2 fights and no knockouts at our club, as long as I've been around. And 2 fights have been 70-year-old men on the bar floor. Imagine that, huh?
How about that?
Let me get it. Our club boasts now over 1,000 members, continues to grow, but Ray once again has us beat on that. I can't even imagine how many people have enjoyed watching you in the ring. And from what I understand, you're continuing to grow too. With your foundation, the Ray Boom Boom Mancini Foundation, by helping charities and families in need, which is just heartwarming. The last thing I just want to say, and the club, similarities I can draw here. It looks like I'm getting the hook.
No, keep going.
And all the organizations represented here today continue to be role models for our Italian heritage and our traditions, and for that we thank you. So on behalf of myself, and I'm honored to be president of our club, I'm honored and humbled to be here today. On behalf of the 10 of us, our treasurers here, there's a table of us back there. We want to get the all right, we got you. To you, a lifetime honorary membership in our club. And here's the membership card. You need that to get in. And one last thing, we are a volunteer organization, so all members are asked to volunteer to help serve pasta on Wednesday night. So let me know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, my
Thank you.
friend.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay. And now we have Leo Perini from the San Francisco Athletic Club.
Yes.
Hi, I am very honored to be here this afternoon and to join all the other Italian organizations. Our club has been in existence, well, it's coming up on 100 years. Like true Italians, we have an argument whether we started in 1917 or 1918, and we're still arguing about it. So we're going to start to celebrate our 100 years in 1917 and go into 1918. That's kind of the nature of the beast. It's just like a representative from Southern California. So she's kind of looking as an umbrella over all these other clubs. So it's pretty much like being a referee. What I can say is from San Francisco, we have 3 entities in our club. We have one that's a foundation that deals with the youth soccer programs and deals with the Italian festival, and that's our charitable end. Then we have the social, like Ed mentioned before, that deals with the stag dinners and bringing everybody together from the Italian community and having dinners and different events and celebrating being Italian and their heritage. And I'll touch on that a little bit more because with Ray, what happens in our history, and we've seen it go up and down, it's like a wave. We've got the passion from the Italians that have immigrated here, the first generation. And through the years, in San Francisco anyway, they made a little bit of money, they did the immigrant thing, the families stayed together, they lived together, the kids saved enough money, and they kind of moved away. And we had a portion a few years back where it was a tough thing to bring these young Italians back into the fold. And the thing that comes to mind is the names that are become iconic and that these young Italians can identify with. Ray is one of those names. The accomplishments he had in the ring, but also the accomplishments as far as in the Italian-American community cannot be surpassed. And everyone doesn't have to become famous, have their name and lights. But every once in a while to have an individual with the character of Ray, that we can sit there and have our young Italians and reflect on our heritage and see someone in the Italian-American community. It helps. Our membership alone, Ed said, is almost at 1,000. We cap it out at 1,100. We hit a low about 8-9 years ago. The thing is, right now, through hard work and bringing in our young members and really recruiting, 50% of our club right now is under 45 years old. So that's an accomplishment. We do that. Referencing things. Ray was in our town, what was it, 2 years ago? Of course, where everybody met in an old Italian bar.
That's it.
So that's where we had lunch, and we had a celebration for Ray. And I'm sure just looking back, and everybody in this room can probably relate to this. You grew up, I'm sure you heard the phrase testa dura. Everyone's heard the phrase testa dura. Ray just didn't know how much that would come into play as a chosen profession later on to be a testa dura. Everything's been told about what he's done. Everything's been told about what he means. We need to hang on to our heritage. We're all Americans, we understand that, but we have a binding fabric, and that's to the homeland. And we cannot let that go. We do try harder, we do work harder, we do argue more, we do fight. I don't know which club said there's only been 2 fights. Well, I wish I could say that at our club. We have rules just for playing cards that they can't get physical with each other. But enough said. We have to recognize Ray from the San Francisco Italian Athletic Club. Certificate of recognition to Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Acknowledgement of his accomplishments in the boxing arena and his contributions to the Italian-American community. Ray?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dale. Fantastic. And from Gaetano D'Aquino, your second one. Okay. So, Rich, would you mind coming up and introducing Ray? And Mr. Bruce Ryan, President of the Nevvada Boxing Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I want to thank Carmine for hosting us today, and for helping us arrange this. It's very important to us to have this honor and these honors for Ray Boom Boom Mancini. I started to write out a little thing that I was going to get up here and talk from the heart. Because Ray Mancini is one of the finest individuals on planet Earth that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, meeting, being friends with. Yes. Ray Mancini is the bravest fighter that I ever saw in the ring, and I've been calling boxing matches on television since 1982. For me, personally, it's a great thrill because when I was like 5 years old, Dad was going to see the closed circuit television. We were living in Hollywood, going to see the closed circuit television of Carmine Basilio fighting Sugar Ray Robinson. And I sat down with him and he was explaining to me what it was. And he told me, now Ricky, Carmine Basilio is Italian, and we are Italian. So, and I am going there to root for Carmine Basilio tonight, and I want you to listen to the fight on the radio. And root for Carmine Basilio. So we had the radio. It was in the kitchen of our house in Hollywood. 15 rounds to Carmine, but not really knowing much about it or what it was, but I was really intensely excited about it, and listened to Carmine Basilio defeat the greatest fighter who ever fought in history, Sugar Ray Robinson. And they announced that decision. It was very, very exciting, very exciting. And my dad told me all about it the next day and everything. But that was the beginning. And I knew that gave me a feeling of knowing who I was about and what Italians were about and what Italians in boxing were about. And I grew up reading about Rocky Graziano, Rocky Marciano, and so it was a big deal. Believe me, when this great man came along. And when Ray Mancini was big news, and it was going to be a big night, or in some cases afternoon, it meant a lot. It really meant a lot. And the thing is, Ray didn't win every fight, but it was important, and the bravery that he showed in there, Ray always made you proud, and that was a great, great feeling for any Italian American. Ray has had incredible glory in the ring. He's had heartbreak in his life at times. He had unbelievable highs. A tragic situation that arose one time after one of his fights when his opponent passed away. But nonetheless, Ray Mancini always stood tall. He always represented himself, his family, his sport, in an unbelievable, beautiful, dignified way that made us all proud of him. Ray had a wonderful backstory. I'm sure he'll touch on it. His father, Lenny Mancini, was a great contender in the 1940s, but he went off to war, World War II and World War II, and when the war was over, he was unable to get that title shot. And so when Ray grew up as a fighter, it was always his dream to get a world title opportunity for his father, and to win that world title for Lenny Mancini, who, by the way, was Lenny Boom Boom Mancini, the first Boom Boom Mancini. The original. Ray finally, after an amazing young career in which he became so popular and such an exciting fighter to watch, Ray got an opportunity to fight for the world title against a legend, Alexis Arguello. And Ray was still so young, and Arguello was at the top of his game. Ray gave everything he had in that ring that night, and he lost to Alexis Arguello. And everybody just loved what Ray Mancini did that night, including Alexis Arguello, when he came over to Ray after the fight. And Ray's crying, and everybody around him is crying because they wanted him to win for his dad, for Lenny Mancini. And Ray probably felt that he let his family down, or his dad down. But even Alexis Arguello, I've never seen his arm around his beaten opponent at that moment, after he had beaten Ray, putting his arm and saying, telling Ray what a wonderful guy he is and what his family has, and if he can do anything for him in life, he would be happy to do it. And I don't know how Ray felt after that, but it was so wonderful that it was shortly after that he got another opportunity to fight for a world title belt, and this was against Arturo Frias. And Arturo was a very good action fighter. He really got in there. He was an amazing guy. And these two, round one started, and these two went at it from the opening bell. And Ray was so determined he was not going to lose that fight. But let me tell you, a minute into that fight, I thought you were going to lose that fight, and I bet everybody else thought
you were going to lose that fight. Ray was staggered, hurt badly, up against the ropes, and it looked, and you know, where else was happen? Don't let this happen. Well, Ray was in a refused to lose mind that night, and he came back, and those two went at it, and they just traded blows, and it was unbelievable. It was so exciting, and my heart was like beating like this through the, and I had to hold myself like that, and I didn't know what to, and we're all screaming for Ray, and Ray came back, and unbelievably, after it looked like he was going to lose a minute earlier, he scored a one-round knockout to win the lightweight championship of the world, and it just meant so much to so many people. It was a great, great moment. Ray went on to have a great career. He fought up in Reno, where I now live. He fought several times up in Reno. He fought an amazing fight up there with Bobby Chacon, another great champion. He stopped him in 3 rounds. He went on to have a wonderful career, as we said, and it just, it was always exciting to watch him fight. Warren Zevon, a great boxer and a singer. He wrote the song "Werewolves in London," if you remember that one that he sang. But Warren Zevon wrote a song about Boom Boom Mancini, and it had a line something like, you know, "Hurry on up, I gotta hurry on home. Boom Boom Mancini's fighting Bob Chacon," and that was part of that song. I always loved that, and that's what it was, and that's what Ray meant, and that's how we feel about Ray. So we are all very excited when the voting board of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame decided that it was time to induct Ray Boom Boom Mancini for all he'd given to boxing, for all he'd given to boxing here in Nevada. It was a very exciting moment for me, and everyone was very happy. And so we wanted to make this happen so you Italian Americans could come in here and honor Ray Mancini as well. So it's my great pleasure to bring up to the mic, and with all these thank you for all of these honors for him, because it meant a lot. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, a great guy and a great lightweight champion of the world, culminating a great success tonight, by the way, with his induction into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Tickets available, by the way, if you want to see me afterward. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. I got that. I'm very, very humble. Very humbled by this. When my friend Rich called me and asked if I'm willing to do this, absolutely. And I want to thank my friends here at Carmine's for putting this on. It's tremendous. And I want to know how much I appreciate this, because one thing I never take it for granted. I never take it for granted because, my father used to tell me things when I was a little boy. He used to always tell me, he said, Raymond, I want you to remember, he said, don't ever take this serious. Famous. He said, say people want to champ on a win when you're falling on the way out. He said, one day the headline, next day the bread line. He said, don't ever take this serious. But I never took it. I respected it and I embraced it, but I also knew that it's borrowed time. It's borrowed time. And fame is like elected office. The same people put you in and take you out real quick. This is one thing how much I appreciate. I don't take it for granted. I'm so thankful for all the kind words of you people coming today. Before I get started, tell a little bit about myself. I do want to acknowledge some people. I see a good friend of mine here, one of the great champions of all time, two-time world champion, my friend Iran the Blade Parker. Thank you very much. I don't know. You should raise the Chileano? You might raise the Chileano. I don't know. I'm sincere, so that's why I say this thing. And I truly appreciate it. I just want to acknowledge two of the greatest things in my life. I've done a few good things, but these are two of the three top. My two babies, my children, my son Leonardo, my son. ago, I was going through very, I don't know, I think I was going through a very dark time in my life, very difficult time in my life. And every so often, people come in your life at the right time, God blesses you with something. And the Lord put in a moment in my life, taught me how to love again, showed me I could love again. And so, she's the best thing that's happened to me for this. My wife, Tina. Now, I want to first I want to say that my father used to say to me when I was a little boy, taking out the translate, those who don't understand, he said, "Ray, sempre recuerdo, ma Siciliano a migliore." Those who don't understand, he says, "Ray, no remember, all times are good, but Sicilians are best." When Youngstown, Ohio, I don't know if it's a quick story about Youngstown. We were the second biggest steel producing city in the world. And from all over the world, we made bombs and the weapons for World War I, World War II, up to we were at the forefront of the industrialization. And in 1977, the mill shut down. And one day, over 10,000 men lost their job. In 1 month, over 25,000 men. In over 6 months, 50,000 men. That's amazing, my town. I don't know if we truly recovered still, but we're on the comeback. Youngstown's on the climb again. And so I just, so I took pro in 1979. I was only 2 years removed from the stimulus check. I think, I don't know what it is, but people latched on. They need something to hold on to. They need something to root for. I come on the amateurs, and I kind of was that guy. I could be somebody else at the time, it just happened to be me. So I just happened to be fortunate to be that guy. But I also think my style, quite emblematic of my setup, we take our shot and we give more than we take, and hopefully at the end we're still standing. So, you take your shots, but you keep moving forward no matter what. And that's kind of my town, and I'm a representative of my town. I'm very emblematic of my town, really proud of my town of Youngstown, Ohio. Before I just go on, I was listening to my friend Annie. I've known her for a couple years. I just was saying I can't think of your kind words. But next time, don't be so shy. Do not be shy. Come out there and assert yourself. People think, why are you so shy? You're the best. You're the best. So, let me tell you. Also, for those who, my actual last name is Mancino. Mancino, not Mancini. I mean, my actual birthday was Mancino. But when my father went to New York, he took over in 1937, went to New York in 1939. And his first fight at the Broadway Arena in Brooklyn, the promoter of the marquee, Larry Mancini, he told the promoter, Max Jost, no, my name is Mancini. Mancino, my name is Mancini. He goes, no, sounds better, flows better. So, when he started winning climbing and became a favorite of the New York Broadway Arena, everyone knew Larry Mancini. So, even when he retired and came back to Youngstown, he put it in a phone book, Mancini, because they didn't come out of town to look for him. And so, growing up, Ray Mancini, and then, of course, when I started fighting, Ray Mancini, and then when I turned pro, but even when I retired, it's funny because both are legal, of course. It's my professional name and my birth name, but for years, my driver's license was Mancini. And then when I went back home last year, or a year and a half ago, I went back to Youngstown. After 30 years of being in Santa Monica, California, I moved back to Youngstown in November of 2014. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But, I love being home. I love my people. The thing on my green light may be the green light would go back and try to do some business, some things back there. But when I went home, I had to get my driver's license. Mr. Mancini, you need to go buy your passport. I get my, California license, Mr. Mancini. I go, Mr. Mancini, I go, trust me, it's gonna cause me a headache you don't understand. Well, okay, so my license now is Mancino, which, for those who didn't know, in Latin time, Mancino means left-handed. Thank you. There you go. So let's go. So if you're left-handed, you're Mancino. And so now when we travel, we were traveling, me and my bride were in Europe last year, when we went to South America, Central America, we were in Panama. The reason I tell you this is, my passport says Mancino, but when we got married, the guy said, great, we're Tina Mancini. I didn't think, of course. So now she goes home, gets her passport and everything. So we travel, and this is what I tell you, we're rich, I thought I still rich from her job. I'm Mancino, she's Mancini. It's a headache. And we were in Panama, and a woman looks, and she sees my name and okay. She goes, Jessica, is she what? I said, yeah. She goes, the name's different. I go, yeah. She goes, forget, what? I go, do you really want me to explain this? It's slower than you know. No, okay, yeah. So this is that's why this is the little background about my name and who I am. And it's funny because for those who don't know, they say, Ray, were you and your father's family's from Sicily? What part of Italy was your mother from? I said, no, my mom's Irish. And my father would be back, and I go, don't say that! So, I was crossed, the entire middle was crossing on the right leg. But inside, I had the shamrock. So I go I'm accessing and half out, which makes me want to have a mean drunk, I guess. But, my city Youngstown, Ohio, again, we're busy in American, a lot of Slovak American, a lot of lineage, true melting pot, We have political community, but being Slovak American, of course, on that part of the world, Eastern Europe, and a lot of Western Europe. But years ago, how many ever knew the actor and known for married children, now modern family, and he's from Youngstown. And years ago, he says that illustrated what goes into laugh. He was doing a movie with Al Pacino. And then we sit around talking to me, and Al Pacino said, next time. Any Italians there? And he goes, yeah, there's a few. Because that's, Italian Americans in Youngstown. And it's just, when you grow up with pride of being Italian American, it's so important. But here's the one thing I say, and this is why I stress. Different cultures, Hispanic cultures, Asian culture, even the Greek culture, they all speak the language. They all know the culture. They all know the heritage. Too many Italian Americans, our children don't. They really don't. And so I stress, and I tell people, I went back I've gone to Sicily. I've seen the village of my grandfather. I actually was seen the apartment where he was born. Pretty moving. I encourage anybody, please encourage the kids to learn about the culture, to learn about the foods. Because, again, spaghetti and meatballs is not Italian. and people that's Indo-American. Because most people don't, was a side dish, spaghetti, but when we came to America during the Depression, so a lot of the foods that we have low air conditions now are depression food dishes. I mean, greens and beans. Sugar beans was a depression food. Polenda's depression food, but now it's a delicacy. Yeah, nobody told us we're at a restaurant. Carmine, you got a minute, But I encourage everybody, please, just teach your children to learn the culture. Just learn about our foods, learn about it. I'm going to tell you a quick story now before you Empire went all the way up to Rome. all up to about Abruzzi, up to 1100, 1200, and then all that was from Sicilian. From Sicilian, which now Sicilian was from Greek. But the president after a while said these people are peasants. They can't be, so they started pushing our people back down, cities back down, and they relented. And so the people from Rome said, we want a better higher learning, speaking language. So they started learning, taking the Italian from Latin. So now, when you go to see, that's what, the Italian, of course, the Italian is from Latin, but the first was Sicilian, which is from Greek. So, our point is, the Sicilians have a big influence all year round there. We've been, and everyone was so fun to but your version, you speak of God, it's Sicilian. So, anyway, I just want to say I'm so proud, so thankful for everything. I'm truly honored. I have a rich, our boxing history, our sports history, our culture is so rich by kids over and made this their home. Every walk of life, actors and musicians, especially fighters, I'm sure most of the time Americans growing up, you had three figures. You had the Pope, you had Rocky Marciano, and Joe DiMaggio. That's kind of then of course Frank Sinatra. That's it. We have the trifecta in the real level. But I'm so proud to be part of my culture, from the Rocky Marciano to the first Italian-American champion is Gaspare Leone. Who was from Palermo's Sicily. And he was the first communist, and he became the first champion of the time himself. So I've always found him in my heroes. You guys got to meet Carmine, got to meet Tony DeMarco, first friend Jimmy Nevvada. I got to meet Graziano back in the day. So many guys excel art polo. So many great champions through the years, and to be part of that lineage. But those guys were my heroes. I'm just proud. I wasn't the most. I was telling people. My greatest asset is coming from Youngstown. This is the last thing I said. I promise. We're the second biggest still producing city. Get me a job, still raise a family. I want something different. And I just said, everybody in my neighborhood was a real rat. They all wanted to know. I wanted something different. But that wasn't a town that encouraged you to be for arts or to be intrigued with being a champion. That wasn't what it just be blue collar guy with a real big job. I was fortunate that I was able to dream big and search for my dreams, follow my dreams. And the thing I'm trying to say is, my greatest asset wasn't my talent in the ring, it wasn't anything I displayed, it was my ability to dream and dream big. And I think that's the best thing I can teach my children. And then I can teach them to dream big, dream bigger in life. And I was able to do that. But dreams are dead without action. Dreams are dead without action. I had a dream, but action followed my dream. I went after my dream. You can't be sitting in your house and I want to be an actor, I want to be a great actor on stage, Broadway. Okay? You sit in your house, you gotta go take it. My father taught me a long time ago. Greatness is something acquired. It doesn't come to you. You have to go take it. You go take it. If you want to challenge greatness, you gotta go take it. But you're only doing it through hard work and education. It's the only way it happens. There's no shortcuts. Nothing else. Hard work and dedication. And I wasn't the most talented guy, but I worked. Nobody had to tell me to get up and do road. Nobody had to tell me to get the gym to do extra rounds. A long time ago, a guy said to me once, he said, "Boom, did you really think you'd be champion?" I said, "Yeah, man. I used to dream about it. I used to dream about it since I was 8, 9, 10, holding the belt over my head, walking around the ring." Now, there's a sports psychology I have a fancy name called positive mental visualization. I don't know if anybody's heard that term? I said, hell, man, I was called dreaming. I was dreaming. But I was able to follow my dream and go after my dream. And I'm blessed to be able to achieve my dream. But I think my greatest asset was my strength of mind. I was the ability to dream. And I think anybody who's successful in life, from all kinds through history, the ability to dream and dream big. So teach our children to dream, teach them to learn our culture. Thank you. God's Tutti, and God bless you all. Thank you.
We're going to serve dessert now. Anthony, where's Anthony? Okay, dessert's going to be served there, but
Excuse me, I just want to say, I wonder why Anthony was back home going like this to me. Wrap this up, let's go, wrap it up. No, it didn't.
okay, so I also want to introduce Dino Marino. Come on in here, Dino. And on behalf of Gaetano D'Aquino, another very proud Italian, Sicilian, this is some wine for you. And should we get a picture here for D'Aquino? Okay, thank you. So dessert's coming out, everyone. It's family style. So Ray's going to be here. Don't worry, everybody Ray will be spending time. Everybody will get a picture with Ray. Okay? Everybody will get a picture with Ray. I promise. We're giving you a bottle. Give it to him. Everybody's done, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. There's plenty of time.